Hello friends, how are you all? Welcome to our JavaScript video tutorial. Today we will explore what loop are, why they are useful and how to use different types of loop in JavaScript with simple example. Let's dive right in. So first of all, what are loops? So loops are a way to repeat a block of code multiple times until a specific condition is met. They are super useful when you need to automate repetitive tasks. For example, imagine you want to print hello 5 times. So here we can do in our code editor we use console.log. We print hello items. So what I can do, we use items. So now it's printed 5 times. Now we let's now you can see one time, second time, third time, fourth time, and 5 times. So instead of writing these, you can use a loop like this. We can create a loop like for let I equals to 0 and I is less than 5 and I plus plus. Here we use console.log. Now you can see it's run 5 times. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this makes your code cleaner, shorter, and easier to manage. So how loops works? Let's break down a loop works using for loop. Now you can see for let I equals to 0 and I is greater than smaller than 5 and I plus plus console.log hello. So first of all, initializations let I equals to 0. This part runs only once at the start of the loop. It's set up the starting point for the loop. In this case, we start with I equals to 0. Now you see, so I is the loop counter for loop variables that we will use to track the number of times the loop has run. Now second condition, so it's this I is smaller than 5. This part is checked before each loop iteration. If the condition is true, the code inside the loop will run. Once the condition become false, the loop will stop. Here the condition is I is smaller than 5, meaning keep looping as long as I is less than 5. Now third is increment I plus plus. After the code inside the loop runs, this part happens. I plus plus means increase the value of I by 1 after each iteration. This ensures that the loop will in eventually stop when I reach 5 because the condition I is less than 5 will no longer be true. So here is our output. Then why use loop? Loop save times and make your code efficient. Instead of writing repetitive code, you can achieve the same result with just a few lines. So here is the types of loop. Like there are various types of loop, like while loop, do while loop, for in loop. So first of all, we see for while loop. It's a while loop keeps repeating the instructions until the condition is true. If the condition is false at the start, the loop will not run. So how it works? Now you can see here, check if the condition is true. If true, the loop runs the code inside it. After running, the condition is rechecked. Now look at the scenario. Write a JavaScript program that prints the number from 1 to 3 each on a new lines and then prints loop has ended on 4th. So we copy this code here. Now you can see I just copy a JavaScript code. Now you can copy it and paste it here. Now you can see here is the count 1, 2, and 3, and loop has ended. So friends, start with 1. Then the loop runs while count is less than or equals to 3. After the printing, the count increased by 1. Then when count is less than 3, the loop stops. Now you can see the one times run, second time runs, and third time it iterates, then it's stop. Now this line is printed here. Loop has ended. The while loop ensures the block runs only when the condition is true. Now let's see do while loop. Do while loop, unlike the while loop, it runs at least once before checking the condition. So how it's work? It's run the code inside the loop once, check if the condition is true. If true, repeat the loop. If false. Now you can see here is the scenario. So write a JavaScript program using a do while loop that prints the number from 1 to 3 along with the message count. After printing the numbers, the program should print loop has ended. Now you can see here is a code. Now we can copy it and paste it here. Now you can see count 1, count 2, count 3 and loop has ended. So friends, here is the process is similar, but the first iterations happens without checking the conditions. The third is for loop. The for loop is a great when you know how many times you want to loop. So how it's work? It's initialization set up a starting value, then condition keep running the loop while the condition is true. Then third is increment decrement, increase or decrease the value after each loop. Now look at the scenario. Sum of all numbers of from 1 to 5, that is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 and equals to 15. Using for loop, that is define the loop from 1 to 5. Now we copy here this code and paste it here. Now you can see now you can see let sum equals to 0. It's initializations. We use the value 0. Then for loop let I equals to 1. Then I is greater than or equals to 5. Then I plus plus. So sum plus equals to I. So what is I now? Console.log sum of the number of 1 to 5 plus equals to sum. So now you can see sum of numbers from 1 to 5 is 15. Now here we paste it as 6. So now you can see here is my answer is 21. 15 plus 6 equals to 21. Now you can see here is the sum of a numbers from 1 to 6. Now look at the for in loop. The for in loop is used to iterate over the keys properties of an object. It's helpful when working with objects or arrays where you want to get the indices or properties names. How it's work? It loop over the keys properties of an object. Now look at the scenario. Write a JavaScript program using a for in the loop that iterates over the properties of an object. Representing a person, the object contains the following properties: name, age, and city. The program should print each property and its value to the console. After printing all the properties, the program should print loop has ended. Now we can see here is the code. Now we can copy it. So first of all, we use a for in loop. So we will use uh, take let person. We create a object now. So we use name equals to. You can see. Sorry, we use colon here. Now you use Saad name. Now age it's 25. So here is the int. So that is we only use the number. Now city is now Mumbai. So we take Mumbai here. Now it's our object. Now we use a for in loop for that. So we use a for. Now we use let key in. Here is our object names person. So we use it now person. Now we use console.log and here we use key plus Now we can use plus, uh, here we use a colon, so we use, then we use plus sign, we concat that, so we use now person, we use a square bracket for key. So here how can I access this? Name equals to Saad, age is 25 and city is Mumbai. So for let key in process, this loops goes through all the properties in the person's object. Then key holds the property name during each iteration. Then it's a person key. We use access the value of the current property. Now next is for of loop. The for of loop is used to iterate over iterable subject like arrays, string, maps, or sets. It gives direct access to value instead of keys of indices. Now, how it's work? It loop over the values of an iterables like an array or string. So here is the scenario. Write a JavaScript program using for of the loop that iterates over an array of the number. The array contains the number from 1 to 3. The program should print each number with the message count before it. After printing all the numbers, the program should print loop has ended. Now we use this code here. We can copy it and paste it here. Now you can see here let number equals to I created an array. Now for let count of numbers. Now we use console.log count. Here we use count this count. Then console.log log loop has ended. Now you can see count 1, count 2 and count 3 here. For we use for let count of numbers loops through the array numbers. Now we use count here, so this holds the value of the current elements during each iteration. Now next is nested loops. A nested loop is a loop inside another loop. It is often used when dealing with grids, table or multidimensional arrays. How it's work? An outer loop runs, an inner loop runs for each iterations of the let loop. Now look at the practice scenario. Write a C# programs using a nested while loop to generate and print a multiplication table for the number 2. The table should display the multiplication result from 2 into 1 to 2 into 5. Each row of the table should represent the multiplications of 2 with difference number from 1 to 5. Now here is the code. Now we will copy it and paste it here. Now you can see let I equals to 2 while I is less than or equals to 2, let j equals to 1, and here is the our code 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So multiplication by 2 to the 4, 2 3 the 6, then 2 to the 8 and 2 5 are 10. So what is here? So let where is let equals to I, the outer while loop ensured the block of code will execute as long as I discuss I is less than. Now what is this let I equals to 2? It's declare and initialize the variable I to 2. Then what is I is greater than? So we use while loop here. So what is I is less than equals to 2? So this is the outer while loop ensure that the block of code will execute as long as I is less than or equal to 2. Since I is initialized to 2, it will only runs once initially making the outer loop redundant for the number 2. Now what is the j equals to 1? So inside the outer loop we declare and initialize the variables j to 1. These variables control the inner loop. Now, what is it? So j is greater, smaller than or equals to 5. So this inner while loop will execute as long as j is less than or equal to 5. It multiplies I by j, calculate the result and print it with a tab space between results. Now, here is let result equals to I into j. What is this? So it calculates the multiplication of I and j, storing the result in the variable result. Now we use console.log for yeah, here we use a template string. Now you can see here is a variable like the result. So here we use multiplication I into j. So here we execute this result. Now you can see 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So friends, loops are like shortcut that help us repeat tasks without writing the same code repeatedly. Whether you are counting numbers, accessing object properties, or looping through arrays, loops make our code cleaner and easier to manage. If you want to know anything else, you can ask in the comments. Keep smiling and happy coding. Thank you.